Welcome to the Deep Dive, your express rate to understanding complex ideas. Today, we're embarking on a journey into, well, a truly unexpected conversation.
Hmm.
We're looking at T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland, that huge modernist poem in theoretical quantum physics.
Seems like worlds apart, doesn't it?
It really does. But what if? What if Eliot's famously fragmented poem isn't just literature? What if it's maybe an intuitive, artistic reflection of the subatomic world?
Like an early signal that our whole concept of reality was shifting.
Exactly. We're going to pull back the curtain on this surprising link. We'll
Yeah.
show you how these two powerhouses of thought, born from the same turbulent era, actually speak a remarkably similar language.
And they hint at some really fundamental truths about reality, art, the mind.
Yeah. Get ready to rethink how you see both.
It's truly fascinating when you put them side by side. The Wasteland, quantum mechanics both exploded onto the scene early 20th century.
Right.
And both just fundamentally shook up how we understood everything. Reality, order, certainty itself.
One through art, the other through science.
Precisely. But the way they challenge classical thinking, it's strikingly aligned.
That's a great way to put it. So our mission today is to sort of extract those fascinating parallels, those aha moments from the material we've looked at.
Giving you a shortcut.
Right, a shortcut to appreciating how these two giants were grappling with really the same fundamental shifts in understanding.
And what's really striking, I think, is how both, almost at the same time, started to embrace this idea of reality not being fixed.
Sure.
Not singular.
But ambiguous.
Inherently ambiguous, yeah.
Okay, that profound shift takes us right to our first big parallel. Fragmentation versus superposition.
Mm-hmm.
Eliot's The Wasteland is just famous for its fragmentation, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It jumps all over the place.
Voices, languages, cultures, history, with no smooth transitions at all. You're constantly trying to piece it together.
You jump from ancient myths to, like, modern London smog, English, Latin, Sanskrit.
Sometimes in the same line.
Yeah, it really demands something from the reader.
Okay, so how does that map onto the physics side?
Well, on the quantum side, you get superposition, which is still baffling, frankly.
Ah,
It's this idea that a particle, like an electron, it doesn't have one definite state. It exists in a kind of probabilistic cloud of all its potential states at once.
its position, its spin, everything.
Everything, yeah, simultaneously,
Well, look,
until you measure it, basically. The act of measurement forces it into just one of those possibilities. It chooses a state.
okay, so back to the poem. This fragmentation isn't just Eliot being difficult.
No, I mean, it is difficult, but there's more to it. It suggests the poem itself, maybe like quantum reality, isn't this fixed thing?
But it comes together through our engagement. It
That's a
coalesces.
good way to put it. It coalesces when we read it, when we
Yeah.
interpret it. Does Eliot hint at this himself, this idea of holding multiple reality?
He does, right, that famous line.
These fragments I have shored against my ruins. See, he's not just listing random bits. He's preserving them. He's shoring them up, holding this whole universe of cultural fragments together.
In a state of potential.
Kind of like a quantum field holding
Ah.
all possible states, yeah. The poem is all these things at once, past, present, sacred, profane, east, west. All layered.
Okay, so if the poem holds all these possibilities,
Yeah.
what about us, the readers? What's our role in finding meaning?
Ah, that's the next big connection.
The observer effect.
Exactly. In quantum physics, it's totally fundamental. Observation changes reality.
Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, right?
That's part of it, yeah. And also wave function collapse.
Right.
Basically, by looking at a particle, you influence it. You collapse all those potentials.
Into one single defined reality.
Right. The maths describing all the possibilities, the wave function, it just collapses.
And you're saying this applies to reading The Wasteland.
Well, it's a fascinating parallel, meaning in the poem is absolutely not fixed. It just isn't.
It depends on me. My back.
Your background, your interpretation, even maybe how you're feeling that day, it shifts. It's not like digging for one single true meaning buried in the text.
So it's not just a clever analogy then.
I don't think so. It suggests that both art and reality, maybe at their deepest levels, aren't static things to be found.
But things we actively shape.
Exactly. Shaped by the very act of looking or reading or observing.
Okay, so if our consciousness is shaping the meaning, how much can we actually know for sure?
Ah, well, that leads us perfectly to the uncertainty principle itself.
Heisenberg again?
Yep. The basic idea is you can't know everything about a particle perfectly at the same time.
Like Position and momentum.
That's the classic example.
Yeah.
The more precisely you know its position, the less precisely you know its momentum, and vice versa. There's a fundamental limit.
And you see this kind of limit in Eliot's poem, too.
I think so. The world of a wasteland is just saturated with ambiguity, uncertainty.
It definitely doesn't give easy answers.
No. About love, death, faith, rebirth. It's all questions, fragments, hints. A landscape of questions, really, much like the quantum realm in some ways.
That makes lines like, I will show you fear in a handful of dust.
Powerful line.
It resonates differently then. It's cryptic, it implies something profound, but you can't pin it down.
Exactly. You feel the weight of it, but you can't define it precisely. It's almost like the poem's telling you that clarity in one area means fuzziness in another.
Mirroring that fundamental limit on knowledge in physics. Wow.
Yeah. Now, moving beyond just direct observation, there's another really weird, fascinating parallel. Non-locality.
Okay, non-locality.
Or, maybe easier to grasp, quantum entanglement.
Entanglement. Spooky action at a distance, Einstein called it.
That's the one. Particles can become linked, deeply connected, and then whatever you do to one instantaneously affects the other.
Even if they're miles apart. Or light years.
Even light years apart,
And
instantly. It's bizarre. Defies our classical intuition completely.
And how does Eliot echo that?
Well, think about his technique in the poem. How he weaves together completely different times, voices, places.
Like the Upanishads next to Dante, next to Shakespeare.
Exactly. All existing together, interacting in a single poetic moment. It's as if they're connected across time and space.
A kind of cultural entanglement.
That's a perfect phrase for it. Every voice, every reference, it resonates with the others, influences them, transcending time, transcending geography.
Like those entangled particles.
Very much like them. It suggests this holistic view where everything's interconnected, not bound by normal rules of separation.
Which brings us to maybe the biggest theme overarching both fields. The collapse of classical reality.
Yeah, the breakdown of the old ways of seeing things.
Quantum mechanics just shattered Newtonian certainty, didn't it? The clockwork universe idea.
Completely. Suddenly the universe wasn't predictable and mechanical. It was probabilistic, fuzzy, inherently unpredictable at its core.
And Eliot, writing right after World War I,
is reflecting a similar collapse, but in terms of culture and values.
Right. Rationalism, traditional Christianity, romantic ideals. The war just blew so much of that apart.
The world felt broken, incoherent. So both science and art were grappling with a reality that just didn't make sense according to the old rules.
So they're both, in their own ways, deconstructing those old narratives. Order, progress.
And instead, proposing a reality that's, well, messier. Chaotic, maybe? Probabilistic. Deeply interconnected.
It's a total paradigm shift. You have to embrace ambiguity, not demand certainty.
You really do. And maybe the most vivid picture of this quantum poetic link is, well, let's call it Schrodinger's wasteland.
Okay, Schrodinger's cat, the ultimate quantum thought experiment.
Right. The cat in the box linked to a quantum event. Until you open the box, the cat is somehow both alive and dead.
In superposition. It's mind-bending.
Totally. And doesn't the wasteland itself kind of exist in that suspended state? Both death and the possibility of rebirth held together?
Especially in that final section, what the thunder said.
Exactly. That's where the thunder speaks. Da data, the advem, demiet.
Give, sympathize, control. From the Upanishads.
Yeah. It offers this flicker of potential hope right in the middle of all the despair and ruin.
So the poem, or that moment at least, is like the cat.
Suspended. Full of dread, full of possibility, waiting for the reader, the observer.
You open the box to collapse it into meaning.
Something like that. It hangs there, both states seemingly present.
Okay, one last parallel. Wave-particle duality.
Ah, another cornerstone of quantum weirdness.
Light acts like a wave sometimes and like a particle other times.
Right, two completely different descriptions, seemingly contradictory, yet both are true. Depends how you set up your experiment, how you look at it.
And Eliot's language.
Often feels packed with dual meanings, doesn't it?
Definitely. A single phrase can feel spiritual and sexual. Or sacred and profane, modern and ancient.
All at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just simple ambiguity, it's a deliberate richness, a layering of meanings.
So thinking about wave-particle duality, it's like Eliot's lines are behaving like quantum entities.
Holding multiple, even opposing meanings at once. Yeah, I think that's a powerful way to see it.
Which demands a different kind of reading from us then.
It really does. You can't just passively receive one meaning. You have to be active, interpret, engage. You decide in a way, which aspect comes forward.
Like choosing whether to see light as a wave or a particle.
Exactly. The poetic language itself is kind of two things at once. Depends how you look.
What's really, I guess, profound in all this is how both Elliot and the quantum physicists were responding to the same thing, weren't they?
The trauma of a disordered world,
Yeah.
post-war disillusionment, the breakdown of old certainties,
One expressed it through literature, the others tried to understand it through science.
and both ended up describing a reality that feels incomplete somehow, observer-dependent, always open to being reinterpreted.
It really shows how big ideas, whether they're artistic or scientific, can bubble up from the same cultural moment.
They were asking similar fundamental questions about what it means to exist, what reality is.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If meaning, if reality itself is as fluid and observer-dependent as all these parallels suggest, how might that change how you approach things? Not just difficult art or science, but the uncertainties, the contradictions in your own life, your own understanding of the world.
Something to definitely mull over as you continue your own deep dives.